Hi guys, sorry for being late. Just got caught. There were a couple of meetings, but I'm gonna try and answer as many questions as I can, and I'm gonna be as elaborate as I can be.
Okay, Gautam, there's Shri Vasya who is asking what are the dreams of your daughters?
Hi Shivasya. See, they're too small at the moment, yeah. But Azeen loves running because whenever I ask her what she wants to do once she gets older, she says she wants to run, and at the same time, obviously, she likes playing badminton as well. But Anaya's too small at the moment, so I haven't asked her this. Hopefully, they're gonna. Most importantly, once they grow up, they become a good human being. That is what I think is very very important.
There's Saket who is asking why are you interested in politics?
Hi Saket, yeah, it's a very valid question. Why am I interested in politics? I'm not interested in politics. I'm interested in making people, probably touching people's life and making their life better. So politics, I don't know what politics is for me. I think politics is trying to serve as many people as I can and for the betterment of their lives and for the betterment of country.
Okay, this is VKC who is asking the best batsman of all time you've seen.
Oh, VKC, the best batsman I've see, there are many. It's very difficult to actually compare one, two, or probably rate one or two. But then, one batter I really loved watching bat was Yuvraj Singh.
Okay, and there is this Dhanvant who is asking who is your favorite batting partner?
Oh, Dhanwant again. These are all tough questions. Who has been my favorite batting partner? There has been many. There's been very very good players who I have great partnerships with. But one person I really enjoyed having uh, my partner being is Rahul Dravid.
Okay, so there's Sai Kiran who is asking will you ever return to KKR as coach or mentor or something like that?
Again, at the moment I am in politics and life is too busy. But again, I think KKR is in good shape. KKR is in safe hands. KKR is in good hands. Hopefully, they can try and win the tournament. It's been a very long time. It's been what 7 years. They haven't won the title. So it's important because if you want to be a very successful franchise, you can't take such a long period for winning the title. The most important thing, you got to be consistent. And yes, winning titles are very difficult. But at the moment, probably you got to qualify for the playoffs very regularly and probably play the final as well. Because one thing I can assure of that if KKR reaches the final, I think it's going to be difficult for any franchise to beat them. So it's important for them now, probably to be more consistent and play better, especially in those crucial games. That is how you become a successful franchise and probably a winning franchise as well.
There is Saurav Singh who is asking where do you want to be in politics after 10 years?
Nowhere, to be honest. I don't want to be anywhere in politics. My purpose of joining politics was to serve the people, and that will always remain, whether it is after 10 years, whether it is after 1 year, whether it will be after 20 years. So if you get into something with the intent of serving people, you don't have any expectation, and at the moment, and at the same time, when people ask me what are my expectations from politics, nothing, because what my expectations, where I wanted to go, I've already been there, done that, came back. My ambition was always, probably when I was playing cricket, was to win the World Cup for my country, and I've done that twice with the help of the entire nation and my teammates. So in politics, I never had any expectations. I had no dreams, honestly. So don't want to reach anywhere. Don't see myself going anywhere, except serving as many people as I can and more people I can.
Okay, so there is Devendra who's asking a lot of the senior players didn't really go to the 2007 2020 World Cup. So what were your feelings when a young team was going there?
Hi Devendra. See again, there was no feeling, there was no expectations, but yes, there was this expectation that you could go up there and play freely. And whenever you're playing for your country, there is no senior or junior, to be honest. And when you're representing your country, your only aim is to win the tournament, whichever tournament you represent. So it's not about how many, whether there are senior players or junior players. If you're not good enough, you should not be picked for your country. When you pick for your country, whether you've played one game, whether you've played 100 games, you got to go out there and deliver, because there is no better feeling than representing the tricolor, representing your country, representing the people of your country. And when we went for the 2007 World Cup, there was only one feeling: they want to come back as winners. I know people would say that there was no expectations. Yes, there were no expectations, but then there were expectations from our own selves, to be honest, because we wanted to prove and we wanted to deliver for the country.
Okay, there's Kunal King who is asking Anil Kumble ke saath you had very good relations. So when he retired, what did you like think about the bowling and in general, like?
Thanks, Kunal. Again, I think my relationship with him has always been a very, very good relationship. I've probably have utmost respect for Anil Bhai because I think he's been the greatest match winner India has ever had. I've said it on many platforms that players will score 20,000 runs, people will get 500 centuries, all that stuff. But then there has only been one greatest match winner, that is Anil Kumble, and that will always remain. And just his fight and just his passion for the game and just the way he goes about everything he does, the honesty, the transparency. I can probably answer this in it'll take me 10 minutes to answer this question. Just the human being he is, and just what he's done for Indian cricket. And there has been spells where he's been his jaw was broken, still went out there, got 2 wickets of Lara and Hooper. Just everything about him, just the demeanor, just the person he is. And see, for me, the most important thing is not what you do on the cricket field, what you are off the field, and the kind of human being you are. So he's got all the attributes, and that's why I've got great respect for him, and that will always remain. Apart from being the greatest match winner in the history of Indian cricket, he's probably one of the best human beings I've ever met as well.
Okay, so there is Killshot who is asking, what do you think about Shubman Gill, and where do you think that he's going, like in terms of his career?
See, again, let the kid play. It's very important. Let's not put too much of expectations of Shubman Gill, because I think in India we create a lot of hype around young players, and suddenly then if they don't deliver, there is equal amount of criticism. I think it's important for people like Shubman Gill, Prithvi Shaw, Mayank Agarwal, all those guys to just grow on their own and leave them alone, because international cricket is not that easy. There are times when you go up, there are times when you'll probably be down as well. So the lesser expectation and the lesser hype you create around young players, the better they will grow, the better they will get mature, because the pressure of expectations can be very, very difficult. So for me, I think Shubman Gill is a very good talent, what he showed in Australia, because those are tough places, and sometimes people say that Australia is the toughest place. I do not agree. India on different surfaces are equally a bigger challenge. Yes, obviously in Australia you've got pace and bounce, but you got to be able to learn to play on every kind of conditions. England has its own difficult conditions. India has its own difficulties. So let Shubman Gill play. Let's not criticize him, and let's not actually evaluate him or dissect him and his technique a lot, because over a period of time he'll keep getting better if he decides to get better. And let's not criticize him a lot, because he's a young boy, he's got a lot of talent, but let that talent be shown to the world probably over a period of time.
So there's Prashant who is asking, आप अपने free time में क्या करते हो?
प्रशांत, मैं अपने फ्री टाइम पे क्या करता हूँ? मैं अपने फ्री टाइम में वैसे तो बहुत कम मिलता है, लेकिन जब भी मिलता है कोशिश करता हूँ ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा अपने बच्चों के साथ स्पेंड करूँ.
Okay. There is I am Ayush who is asking, what do you feel about the youth development in Indian cricket as compared to the past 10 years?
Ayush, again, good. I think there are a lot of good young cricketers that are coming through, and I think we got to give credit to the IPL as well. Probably before the IPL, the pool of players were not that big, but if you see, the pool of Indian cricket has become much bigger, especially from the IPL point of view. And yes, there will be a lot of people who will criticize IPL for a lot of reasons, different reasons, but I've always maintained one thing, that IPL is probably the best thing that's happened to Indian cricket from the young players' development point of view. You see young fast bowlers, you see young batters coming through. So there's not a lot of difference between IPL and actually international cricket. Had there not been any IPL, from domestic cricket to international cricket, there was a huge step, and that is why probably in the past players used to take a lot of time to adjust to international cricket. But once you come from domestic cricket to IPL, and then from there on go and play for India, that step actually narrows, and it takes lesser time for you to develop, and probably you can start performing straight away. Because I've always been a believer that playing for India is not a place where you get groomed. It is a place where you deliver. So you get groomed only in domestic cricket and probably at the IPL. So that's the reason why I think IPL is a great thing that's happened to Indian cricket, and from the youngsters' growth point of view as well.
Okay. So there is Yashveen who is asking about the community kitchen that you've opened, and what is the motive behind it?
Thanks, Yashveen, for asking this question. See, again, I've made it very clear when I got into politics, I wanted to serve the people of India, and I wanted to serve the people of Delhi, and that intent remains the same. So my purpose of opening community kitchen was that we want to try and feed as many people as we can. That is probably the basic necessity, or probably the basic thing we can provide the people of Delhi, and no one should sleep hungry, because that is something. Yes, we can keep talking about free electricity, free water, all the freebies that goes around in Delhi and in other states. But the most and the basic thing what we can provide people are with good food and quality food, and probably that was the reason. And the most important thing is, when you serve food, you should serve food with respect, and that is the reason. And the food that I can eat, you can eat, all of us can eat, should be provided to the people who cannot afford to have one meal a day. So yes, that was the reason why we started community kitchen, and touchwood, it's going really strong. We've opened two. Hopefully in future, I'm not going to make any promises. Hopefully we can open many more and touch as many lives as we can, and try and serve as many people so that they don't sleep hungry in Delhi.
Okay, there's Aman Gupta who is asking about your favorite memory from the 2011 World Cup.
Aman, my favorite memory of 2011 World Cup was winning the World Cup. That's about it. And see, winning the World Cup for the country, not winning the World Cup for any individual, because I've always believed when you play for the country, you play for the country. And that has always been my point and that was my first 50 over World Cup as well. So I wanted to win it, and I wanted to win it for 100 million people, because that is all you can do as a player. You can't change their lives, but all you can do is probably bring a lot of smile on their faces, and hopefully we were able to do that.
Okay, so Meenu is asking, this is a very this thing, what do you enjoy more, cricket or politics?
Hi Meenu, see again, what do I enjoy more, cricket or politics? See again, both the profession has its own pros and cons, to be honest. Yes, there are times when I've enjoyed cricket a lot, there are times when I've enjoyed politics a lot as well, and good people should join politics. Yes, you will hear a lot of things that good people should not get into politics. It's a dirty field and stuff. No, it's, see, if you come with the right intent, if you come with the intent to serve the people, it's a great field to come in, and it gives you so much of satisfaction whenever you touch people's life. And this is a great platform to touch as many lives as you can. Probably a far more number of people you can touch as compared to when you're not into a political life or in public life. So the intent is important. Challenges will always be there in every profession, whether it's cricket, whether it's politics, whether it's corporate world. But I think for me, I think there are days when it has been very, very satisfactory, even when I'm in politics, because when I see people going to the community kitchen and they come out very satisfied, they're very happy. I see those smiling faces when they eat that one meal a day. It just gives you so much of satisfaction and contentment, that which because you're actually touching people's life. In cricket, yes, when we used to do well, when India used to win, you would bring a lot of smile on their faces. But politics is something where you touch people's life right to the core of it. So yes, enjoyed politics at times and enjoyed cricket at times as well.
Okay, Akash is asking who has been the toughest bowler that you've ever faced.
Akash, the toughest bowler I've ever faced was Muralidharan, and I've always maintained that, because he was probably, people said that I've got a lot of runs against him and I was able to probably dominate him. Not at all. I could never read him. I could never read his Susra and stuff. It was just that I went with my instincts, and I was just very fortunate that I could actually score runs of him, and he was just a champion bowler.
Okay, so Rishi is asking, आपने बीजेपी ही क्यों ज्वाइन करी?
ऋषि, मैंने बीजेपी क्यों ज्वाइन करी? मैंने बीजेपी इसलिए ज्वाइन करी, मुझे लगता है क्योंकि बीजेपी एक ऐसी पार्टी है जो जेन्युइनली देश के लिए अच्छा करना चाहती है, और देश के लिए अच्छा किया भी है. कई ऐसे डिसीजंस, चाहे वो आर्टिकल 370 हो, चाहे वो CEA हो, चाहे वो ट्रिपल तलाक हो, ऐसे जो डिसीजंस हैं. और प्लस अगर आप डेवलपमेंट की बात करते हो, तो जिस तरीके से डेवलपमेंट इस देश में हुआ है पिछले 4-5-6 साल में, आई थिंक हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी, एक और चीज़ कि हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी जो इतने सेल्फलेस व्यक्ति हैं, तो आप ऐसे लीडरशिप के साथ काम करना चाहते हैं जो खुद सेल्फलेस तरीके से काम करे और देश को आगे रखे एज कम्पेयर कि अपने आप को आगे रखे. सो वो बहुत ज़रूरी था, बिकॉज बीजेपी ही एक ऐसी पार्टी है जो डेवलपमेंट के बारे में बात भी करती है और डेवलपमेंट करती भी है, तो वो एक कारण था.
Vikrant Gupta has said that I'm very proud of the free kitchen that you've helped set up.
Thanks, Vikrant. Thank you very much. Need all your wishes. It's just the start. Hopefully we can have many more community kitchens and touch as many lives as we can. And as we all know, that the day, I think my mission for Delhi has always been one, that no one should sleep hungry. And the day that I'm able to achieve that mission probably will be the happiest day of my life. Like in my constituency, the biggest challenge is Ghazipur landfill. So whenever that Ghazipur landfill finishes, probably that will be the happiest day for me in my constituency. But the day I think we'll be able to make the entire Delhi go hunger free was probably will be the biggest achievement of my life in my political career, and that is where I think I will get a lot of contentment and satisfaction. So it's just the start. Hopefully we can deliver much more, because that is what we expect to do.
Okay, Ritz is asking, what has been the toughest phase of your life?
It's the toughest phase of my life has been lots, but then whether it was missing the under 14 World Cup, whether it was actually missing the under 19 World Cup, when I should have been part of both the World Cup, then I was very close to actually, I was probably in the 30 for the 2003 World Cup as well, but then 2007, where I thought that I should have played the 50 over World Cup, was probably the toughest. If I talk about my cricketing career, or probably the phase I'm talking about, because when I was growing up, probably my only childhood dream was to be part of the 50 over World Cup and win the World Cup, not about playing 100 test matches or scoring 10,000 runs and stuff. So when I missed the 2007 World Cup, I actually thought that this dream will never come true. But then when I played the 2011 World Cup, yes, I played my first World Cup of any sort in 2007 itself, T20. But then yes, we won the 2007 2020 World Cup, which was my first World Cup of any kind. But then my ultimate dream was to be part of the 2011 50 over World Cup, and that only happened in 2011. And fortunately, I was part of the winning World Cup. Yes, so and then there has been phases apart from that as well. Scoring 3 ducks in a row in 2014, scoring 1 run in the first 4 games as a captain. So probably as a captain, when I used to come back in my room, or probably in the dressing room, sometimes I used to feel that I should drop myself. Then turning it around from there, from the lowest point of scoring 1 run in 4 games to actually going on to win the 2014 IPL, was an unbelievable journey. Probably a journey I can keep talking about. The turnaround, and that showed a lot of character, not only from the team's point of view, but from my point of view as well, because that needs a lot of mental toughness to turn your entire form around, and at the same time to probably win the tournament was probably my toughest phase as well. So that's why I've always believed the perseverance is very important. You can leave things very easily, but to hold on to it and probably continue to keep going is the toughest thing as well. I could have easily dropped myself, and I would have told probably the team management that that's it, I'm not going to be part of this tournament. But then to turn it around, your own form, and then going on to win, was probably the most satisfying thing one of the most satisfying thing in my cricketing career.
Fantasy Buff is asking, do you still carry the CDs of Shahid Bhagat Singh wherever you go? Something like that.
I still read about Bhagat Singh. I don't carry the CD because everything is on the YouTube, but I still love reading about him. There's only one man I love reading about, I love watching, and I love talking about, and it's Bhagat Singh. And even if you see in our community kitchen, he has the biggest picture, and it will always remain. However many community kitchens we'll open, he'll probably be the biggest feature in that community kitchen, because he's been my only inspiration, and that will always remain till my last breath.
Raw Satyam is asking, any current player who's very similar to you?
Raw Satyam, no one, and no one should be similar to anyone, because I was not similar to anyone. I never followed anyone. I never tried to copy anyone, and no one should copy anyone. And I don't think so. I think everyone's got their own class, everyone's got their own strength, and that is why cricket is so unique. That is why this world is so unique. No one, imagine everyone starts becoming like someone else, how monotonous will things be? So I'm sure the current generation has a lot of talent, has a lot of freedom, and to go out there and express themselves. And I'm sure Indian cricket will keep growing and keep getting better every year.
Okay. Amrita Singh is asking, any secrets of success that you have?
Amrita, there's no secret of success. The only secret of success is hard work and intent and honesty and transparency, and probably credibility as well. So if you have honesty, and if you can see yourself in the mirror, and if you see that yes, when you come back home at the end of the day and you can answer your own conscience, that is probably the only secret of success I've always had, that I can still see myself in the mirror every day, and I can actually answer my conscience, that whether my conscience is right or not. And till now, I'm not going to say what's going to happen tomorrow, but till right now, where I'm sitting and talking to you guys, the most important thing is that yes, I can see myself in the mirror and I can actually answer my conscience that whatever I've done with the right conscience and right intent.
Okay, Rimu is asking, who is your inspiration in politics?
No one. There has been only one inspiration for me in my life. Forget about politics or cricket, and that's been Bhagat Singh. It is very well known that no one has ever touched my life, my soul, and no one has actually ever inspired me the amount Bhagat Singh has, and it will always remain the same. Thank you guys. Thank you for asking all the questions. I hope I've answered as many questions as I can, and hoping to see you soon again.